Hi, friends. Welcome to the second episode of Finance Fridays. My name is Busi, and today we are talking about budgeting and saving. I've got a special guest with us, and I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Hello, people. I'm well, thank you. My name is Mrs. Kunjulwa Makaulana. I am a financial management lecturer at Lovedale King Campus, lecturing now currently level 2 and 4, but I also lecture level 3 at times, and also teaching part-time business management, financial accounting, and 4. Yes, that's me.
So much. Thank you so much for joining us. Enkosi, like we really couldn't have a better person to talk on this subject, budgeting the saving, because honestly, we need to know how is it done. So before we even get to the nitty-gritties of budgeting and saving, what is the difference between budgeting and saving? Because I think sometimes we use the words interchangeably. What is budgeting and what is saving?
Budgeting comes before saving. That's the first difference that you can get. Budgeting comes before saving, because when you budget, the income is not yet there, but you are budgeting for an expected income. You are expecting some income that you are going to receive at a future date, and then you plan now how saving, on the other hand, when now the money is here, in fact, you can put saving under your budget, because in your budget, you will have your expenses and your incomes and some money to save. So saving becomes part of your budget. So in your budget, you can include amount that you're going to save. Saving is putting aside some amount of money for future use with interest, because when you keep it there, you can keep it and you can get interest at a future stage depending where you save, of course.
So what I'm getting, ma'am, is the fact that if budgeting, it's like the first thing you need to do. Like before you think about saving, this is the first part of your planning phase.
First part.
And if your first part of your planning phase, why do you think it's important for us to budget? Because I think most of us, go young people, whether imali yayipiwa or yayisebenzela, ithi ngene iphuma. It's rare that we must budget and all of that. Why is it important that we must budget?
It is important to budget because some of us, we are impulsive spenders. When you see something now and you want to buy it now, it might be at the expense of something else, because at the end of the day, the income is limited. Your income is limited. You don't have money stream that comes all the time. So you need to budget so that you do because in your budget you will prioritize things. Obviously, you will have first things first, and then you will know how much is left for you to spend on your personal things at a later stage. But you must first budget, because you don't want to overspend and realize at a later stage that you have not done what you were supposed to do, but the money is gone. So if budget is there to restrict you in your way of using your money, so that because you cannot even be able to save if you cannot budget. Because what are you going to save? So that's why it is important to budget.
And why are we saving? Like, what is the importance of saving? I feel like when it comes to rainy days, I don't know, but like, why are we saving? Why would you say the importance of like saving? Why is it important for young people also to just have savings?
Yeah, we save for rainy days. We save for, there will be something important that will pitch up in the middle of the month when you have not yet received what you normally get. Maybe you get what you get at the end of the month, but in the middle of the month, if you are a student, for instance, you are needed to print your assignment, you've got no money, you are waiting for money that will come at the end of the month, and the due date is before that time. And if you have your savings, you go and you take money from your saving, you print your assignments, because if you are a student, you've got things that will come. We will need assignments printed. You will need toiletries. You will need something before the end of the month. So if you have your savings there, no matter how small they are, they will help you, because even if it's not enough for what has come, it's called contingency fee. You put for something that will be unforeseen circumstances where you will need cash immediately and you don't have it. But if you have your savings, at least you've got a place where you can take. And then if you are going to ask from someone, you ask that person to add on what you already have. So at least when you save, you've got something to pay for your unforeseen problems that will come during the month.
Yeah, but yes. But you know, I know I'm not alone. I'm sure there's a student watching right now who's like, this sounds lovely, we must be saving, this is great, but how do I start? How do I start saving? Are there methods? Because I think for a lot of us growing up, I don't know about other households, especially in the Black community, there's not a lot of conversation about money, number one, but even more so about how to save, how to invest, and all of those things. So then when I'm in Koneva City, I'm maybe getting nurses or something. How do I start? How do I save? Are there methods to saving? How do I do it?
You start by you must take a conscious decision, and you must be like intentional about it. You must plan to save. It does not just come anyhow. You must plan. First of all, you must have, for you to be able to restrict yourself, you must have something that you want to buy for yourself. Learn to say, I want to change my phone, for instance, something that will motivate you. You say, I want to buy myself this phone, and I am going to save towards getting it. Then if you have a goal that will force you to save, because you have that thing that you have promised yourself to, you want to buy it at a set, and you must have a due date, you must have a period to say, by the end of this month, I must have this. And for me to have it, from what I'm getting at home, I will keep 100 rands. You can start by saying, okay, I will identify someone that I trust. Maybe if you are my student, you come to your lecturer, you say, ma'am, I want to save for something, but I don't trust myself to keep it on my bank account. I'm going to come and give you 100 rand every month when I get something until this time. And you want that person to monitor you. You give that person a right to follow you up, that this month you did not bring the 100 rand, where is it? So you get that person, because when you are young, you can leave that thing at any given point. So find someone that you are going to be accountable to say, I want to save, I am going to give it to you. If you are going to put it in your bank account, you are going to come and show me every month that, ma'am, it's here. Even this month I did it. And at where you did not come to me, I ask you, where is it? So find someone that is your mentor, someone that that's going to monitor you in doing this time when you are doing it for the first time. Because it's not.
We are losing you, but the network is doing its own thing. But what I'm getting, what I'm getting, ma'am, is that there are two important parts to this saving. Number one, there must be a goal. You know, there must be something.
Yes, there must be a goal.
There must be a goal. And number two, accountability, which I think is the difficult part. I think setting a goal is like easy. So as we just do something, but the accountability part, I think, which is also very important, and I it's hitting it for me. Like I get it, like it's quite important. And then now that we're talking about saving, I want to go back to our first point of saying that budgeting is the people who save it, who sort of a budget, and then you save in their budget. So what are the important components, it can be top 3 important things, if budget right, what does it consider? To say, okay, for me to feel like, okay, Lisa, I've got a good budget, how do I know, okay, if budget here means sense?
Okay, your income, your expected income, how much do you expect to get? Put it there, and then all the sources are you going to get it. It must be there. And also, there must be expenses. In your expenses, prioritize your expenses. You calculate them, you list them there, and then at the end of your expenses, you must have an amount that is called contingency fee. That one is for unexpected circumstances. You know that it's groceries, it's toiletries, it's school fees, it's this and that, and then it's saving. Saving must be planned. You plan, put it as part of your, and then you've got your contingency allowance. That's taken for anything that may happen during the month that I have not think of. It must be there. So it must show your income and the sources of your income, and then it must show your expenses. You subtract your expenses from your income. You see how much you will have to save and how much do you have to spend unaccountably, so if I may put it like that. So incomes, expenses, and contingency plan, and your saving.
Yeah, lecture again, at the end of this one, I need to get
unforeseen.
Google, what is all of this?
Unforeseen.
I am captured, but like I want to know what is going on in our closing. I want to know what would you say to a young person out there who is struggling? They hear somebody, they've read it somewhere, but they are still struggling with budgeting and saving even more. So, what is your message coming to motivate them and saying this is something important for themselves, not just for now, or maybe even for their future? What is your message to them?
I would say it is better to learn to live with what you have, because what makes it difficult to budget is us wanting to spend more than what we get. Then it makes it difficult for us to budget, and it's worse to save. So learn to live with what you have. Learn to know that yes, I would like to have this, but at this point in time, I cannot afford it. Accept that you cannot afford some of the things with what you get, so that you don't go into extremes and do things that are uncalled for, just for you to afford what you don't afford. Learn to live with what, accept your situation, learn to live with what you have, and then teach yourself to budget and save. Teach yourself, practice it, and it takes practice. It does not just come naturally at time. You start by, it's like learning to drive a car. When you learn to drive a car, you get a point where you find like you want to give up. It's like, I cannot do this thing, and you want to leave it. But if you push yourself to try, you get to be fluent. It comes now to as a second nature to you. You just wake up and you get to the car you drive. When you get to the robots, you don't even think which tools to use for you to, if the robots are getting red, what you must do, because now it has become a second nature. But remember, when you started at the beginning, there were times where you had to plan that I am going, with me, I had to plan that, okay, I am going to that robot, and if I get there and it's red, I'm planning as I am going there, because it was hard. But I taught myself, and now it has come as a second nature. It is possible with budgeting and saving. That also can be done. Have yourself goals. You have your long-term goals, have your short-term goals, have your intermediate goals, and plan, how am I going to get there, and when. You must have time frames for everything that you are budgeting for. When am I going to get there? And monitor your budget. There's a cycle that I am teaching here at level 4. That is a monitoring your budget. You plan, you check the performance. That is, you monitor the performance. That is, have I done everything according to my plan? If not, what can be the corrective measure? And then you start again. So you go back to your plans, you check, you say, okay, I could not do this one. Why? And then how can I correct it? Then plan again. Don't give up in this thing until you get fluent, until you get, it comes as a second nature. My mother cannot live without budgeting. You will think and you will say, it's the 20th today and we are going to get pizza, and that girl gets to her bed and sleep, and you will like, are we cooking on the 20th? She says, I have my budget. My budget. So it's like, I am not there yet, but I am on my training to get there. And it's you young people, you can also do this. And I every day I feel like if I started earlier, so it's best for you that you are taught these things at your age. So when you get to our age, it will be easy for you and you won't have troubles.
I love the fact that as somebody who's already so informed and knowledgeable about budgeting and saving, we are
Oh yes.
You are still in progress. You are not there. You become the perfect budget. So now this is giving me hope who are still quite struggling while they live within your means. Very difficult because we like things and we want these things to come easy, but it's not going to always come easy. And it's one of the important things why we are running these Finance Fridays, because we the point of saying that the earlier you start, the better. So we're hoping
the earlier you start.
And we really hope that young people are going to like hear, myself included, that we hear you and actually just apply these very simple but principles. But they might seem difficult. I think sometimes, as we always say, some things are easier said than done, but they are doable. I think what I'm getting from this is
yes, they are.
They might not come easy, but they are doable. But it's like every day.
They are doable.
Something. Well, let me put something to the test. Ms. Kuchela, I can't say thank you enough. We have come to the end. It's a short one, but we have come to the end of another informative and valuable session. And I, on behalf of everybody who gets to see this, I just want to say thank you for making time for this, and thank you for sharing such great knowledge and just practical ways on how we can budget and save. We couldn't be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.